In the United States, food waste is estimated at between 30 to 40% of the food supply. This estimate corresponds to approximately 133 billion pounds and $161 billion worth of food. This amount of waste has far-reaching impacts on society. Wholesome food that could have helped feed families in need is sent to landfills. Meanwhile, in Angelina County, our recipients' unique idea is helping stem the tide of wasted food every day.
She'd heard about the concept of food recovery through Baylor University's campus kitchen. And so as soon as they moved here, she kind of threw that idea out there and said, I think we could do this in Lufkin.
With a passion to do whatever it takes to get food to those in need, our recipient shared with a group of friends her idea of a food recovery program, which repurposes fresh, unused food from schools and donates it to nonprofits that provide free meals in the community.
She's the blue sky. She sees the potential of what can be done with an idea, and she's willing and determined to make that work. This morning I was reading something and there was a quote and I thought, that pretty much nails it. It was that courage is not the absence of fear, but instead it's the ability to move forward despite those fears with your faith and God's help, right? And we had those fears like, okay, are we going to get volunteers? Is there going to be food for us to recover? Who's going to be the recipient of this food? We know there are needy people, but how do we get it into the hands of the people who need it?
The group quickly picked up the torch and began the work to start Second Helpings. In the summer of 2017, a pilot program began with volunteers taking leftover food from the Lufkin ISD summer feeding programs at Lufkin High School and Slack Elementary and delivering it to several area nonprofits that provide meals. That pilot program was proof positive there is an overwhelming amount of food that can be saved from the landfill with a little effort and a lot of volunteers.
And in the first 2 weeks of recovering food from that summer feeding program, we recovered 6,800 servings of food. And so we knew we were onto something. And we said, okay, there's really a need here, and the folks in our community could use this. We all got our food handlers licenses. We, purchased these insulated boxes, and we just set out and started collecting food.
The program expanded to accept food daily from Lufkin High and Lufkin Middle Schools, and in 2018, the kitchens of Slack and Burley were added. More than 100 volunteers are working from the organization's headquarters in a Lufkin business that is generously providing space to operate the program.
It's a pretty staggering total in the amount of servings that we've recovered. To date, from all 4 campuses, we've recovered 197,000 servings of food. From Lufkin High School alone, we've recovered 98,000 servings of food. From Lufkin Middle School, 73,000 servings of food. And from Slack and Burley Primary, respectively, about 23,000 servings each.
Volunteers pick up special warming boxes from the organization's location and take them to the school's kitchens where the cafeteria staff loads the leftover food. Those boxes are then delivered to the nonprofits. The recovered food is paired with other foods to complete the meals for that day and possibly the next. Along with food delivery, Second Helpings schedules some leftovers to be frozen each week in order to have food immediately available for emergency needs by local organizations and individuals. A monthly schedule lists volunteers for each day, the school they pick up from, and the nonprofit they'll deliver to. Currently, food is delivered to the Salvation Army, Family Crisis Center, Christian Men's Job Corps, Godtel, and several others.
So without the Second Helpings program, it would be very difficult for us to provide the need for food to the community because they bring us vegetables, they bring us fruit, they bring us nutritious food, and unfortunately the people that we serve do not have capabilities to get those types of food. By Second Helpings being able to offer that to us, that helps us out financially, because if we didn't have them, then we would have to look for other funding source in order to go out and get food for the program that we have here at our facility. So we'd be spending a lot of other money that we can use through our other social service programs, with like helping out with rent assistance, utility assistance.
And of course, volunteers are always needed, especially as this organization grows. Not a small task feeding hundreds in our community daily, but our recipient is passionate about people in need, especially families and children who are hungry. She's not afraid to ask anyone to participate by volunteering or recruiting recipient organizations. How lucky are we that our recipient moved here only about 3 years ago and has already made an impact in the lives of so many by bringing ideas, passion, and a drive to serve to our hometown.
She is a passionate person, and she loves people so much. She is driven. I don't think she will let anything get in the way of something she wants to do. If she's on a mission, Katie bar the door.